Okay, here we go. All right. All right. We're here in Westbury, and we're going to be talking to Melissa D'Angelo from Compass Realty. It's such a pleasure to have you come and talk with us today. And we're going to discuss the pros and cons of this crazy real estate market that we got going on, especially here on Long Island. Okay, Melissa has been in this space for how many years now?
17 years.
17 years. You hear that, people? 17 years in this crazy real estate out on Long Island. So everybody's wondering what's going on in the real estate market. Home prices, especially here on Long Island, have skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
Mortgage rates have gone up.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know whether they should buy, should they stay where they are. So today, Melissa's going to give us a quick tutorial on what you should be doing and what you should look out for. So, Melissa, let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your history. You know, I've known you now for what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
This is, I love to do what I do. Been doing it 17 years. I have just done it on Long Island. So this is where I spend my time. The market here on Long Island is very different from everywhere else. The market in New York is very different from everywhere else. And so for me, I've lived in Huntington for 61 years. I am a mother of two. My husband and I have been married for 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's great.
He puts up with me for a very long time. And this is my third career. I did marketing marketing and advertising for an electronics firm for a number of years, and then I owned my own database company for a number of years.
Really? So what got you into real estate?
Truthfully, when I bought my first house, my realtor was awful. And I never, ever wanted to go through that again.
Wow. Okay.
So that was the driving force for people should be treated better. People should be told the truth. People should be guided. People should be, because it's not about the transaction. It's about the people.
Right.
So how do you take good care of the people and tell them what it should be, whether they should be selling their house at this point or whether they shouldn't, whether they should stay put, whether it's a good opportunity to buy or whether it's a rash decision.
Okay.
It's always about the people with me, so it makes it very simple.
All right. That's great. I kind of think that's why we connected at such a great level. Mm-hmm. Being in the contracting business and having to deal with clients. And, you know, I have a passion. My clients are so important to me.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't take the time and effort. And matter of fact, I met you through one of your good friends.
Exactly.
Who was a client of mine.
Exactly. A very trusted friend.
Very trusted friend. And we became not only business colleagues, we developed a friendship, you know.
Exactly.
So, and you have such a passion for what you do. And I know that for a fact because people kind of like call you the mayor around town.
Coach, mayor.
Coach, mayor. I walk into venues, we've done mixers, and Melissa's like, okay, whatever you need, ask Melissa. Well, no matter what it is, she is the go-to person. You need a sewer guy, you need a fence guy, you need a roofer, you need an excavator, you just dabble in all fields. But that's a testament to the kind of person that you are.
Yeah. No, I don't dabble in any of them. But I know people who I just knew who I trust, and I know who is on my list, and who I know will take as good a care of clients and people and friends as I do.
Right. Okay. So, that's great. Yeah. That's great. So with this crazy real estate climate on Long Island, which is, like you said, is very unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Manhattan.
Nope.
And it changes from even county to county. Am I 100%. Correct in saying that?
100%.
So how are the counties different?
So the counties are different because of tax structure, for starters. Nassau County tends to be higher taxes than Suffolk. And where people are buying are different, because if somebody needs to be in the city, and they're commuting, they're generally not going much further out of Nassau County because the commute gets longer.
Correct.
So Township of Huntington is the last train line that is a nonstop on the North Shore. And the South Shore line is more efficient. You can get, and the Mid Island is more efficient. But if you're on the North Shore, Huntington's really the last stop for a nonstop, so you can get in. There are a couple of others, but if you're doing it on a regular basis, and who wants their commute to be more than an hour and 15 minutes?
Right.
I mean, the train itself is an hour, but then you have to get somewhere. Unless you're working above Grand Central or above Penn, you've still got to come out, commute, and all this other stuff. So, and people don't take that into account.
Right.
So they have to take that. So that's, figure an hour and 15 minutes each way. That's 2.5 hours of your life every day.
That's a lot.
So that's where your Nassau-Suffolk piece comes in. So if you've got to be in the city, you're not going much past Nassau County. So even though your taxes are higher, that's generally
the trade-off.
The break point there.
The break point. The trade-off, as they say.
Right, exactly.
But you never get those hours back.
No.
They're gone forever.
Exactly.
You know, if you're spending 2.5, 3 hours a day on the train, that's 15 hours a week of your life that you're never getting back.
Right. And there are people that do a great job on their commuting. It is their downtime. It is their reading. It is their meditation. There are people that do it really, really well.
Okay.
So it's kind of funny that I've never commuted into the city. So for me, I'm thinking, oh, wow, an hour a day to meditate on the train. That would be an interesting use of time.
Definitely.
So there are people who use it very well and think of it as their time, not as the old god-awful commute. So me, I think but anyway, so there are people who use it well, but it's still, if you have a family, you need to get out. There's still a matter of like, okay, I got to get there, and there's time constraints. So
okay.
So, and then Nassau and Suffolk different because all of Nassau County has square footage, so you can actually assess a house by square footage. Suffolk County does not.
Really?
Nassau County has done the whole county, so you can actually go on My Nassau Records and look at your square footage, what you're being assessed for, what the diagrams of every house, things like that. Suffolk County, it's by every town, and every town does it different.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's great information for you to know, whether you're on Long Island or wherever you are in the nation. It's great information that you should have in the back of your mind when you get ready to purchase a property.
Right. So, and I think that's where your realtor should come into play, as far as like, there's a lot of parts of the island I don't do, because I don't know the area, I don't know the town. Like South Shore, below Merrick Road, how do you, even if I have a really good friend, I'm not going to help somebody buy there because I don't know what's a flood zone. Although I can look on the zone, it'll tell me if it's an X or a Y or what. I don't know what happened during Sandy. I don't know what happens when it's a full moon and it's flooding, and I don't know, so every street is different.
Right.
So, you got to find somebody who's a professional in that area. And that's, I've aligned with so many agents across the island because people are like, I want to do here. I'm like, I can't service you as well as you need to be serviced, but this person can. So.
Right. And that's true, because I've come to you and asked you for even information out of town. And the first thing you said, let me make a call. I got somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I gave
the mayor.
I've given you people out east. Right.
Out east, you've given me people in Pennsylvania when I needed information. So that's so important, because a lot of people want to be everything to everybody.
In this industry, you can't. You cannot. And I do pride myself on a fantastic network of realtors as well across the country. And it's not just Compass people, because there's towns where Compass is not, and there's places where I have a relationship with people. Compass is only 10 years old, so I've had relationships with people that are outside the network. So it's not about staying in the brand, although I love my brand. I love my brokerage. It is amazing.
Which we're going to get into.
What
makes Compass different from everybody else?
So much. But it's always about finding the right person for you. Just like a plumber, just like an electrician, just like it's finding the right person for the right job. If someone called me and said, I want somebody who is going to redo my house and cut corners and You're not the phone call.
Yeah, you're definitely not calling me.
And I actually don't have anybody for that because that's not my MO. But
right.
but exactly. So it's got to be somebody that lines up and knows, and that's even on the island because the island is so different spot to spot.
Okay.
So, yeah,
that's great information. So tell us about Compass.
oh.
I really didn't know anything about Compass Realty until you got on board with them.
Yeah, it's a fantastic brokerage. I don't know any other like it. I was with another big brand beforehand, but Compass is a big family. And I know people use that, throw that around, things like that, but it's truly a big family. If I wanted to pull out my phone right now and call Robert Refkin, who's our CEO, I could. I can call his cell phone. I can call our...
Wait a minute. Time out. How you mean, so you can call, is he the CEO?
CEO.
CEO. So you can pick up the phone and call the CEO of this huge company, real estate company, and talk directly with him.
He gives us access. I was at a fundraiser in the city for a Long Island agent. So this actually shows it out. One of our agents on the island lost his daughter. She was 9 months old. Our city chapter of our young professionals did a fundraiser for him in the city. Robert shows up. Gordon Gollop shows up. Rory showed up. Like 3 of our top 4 people in the country showed up at the fundraiser.
That shows a lot.
To show that's exactly who they are.
I see you emotional.
I know. I love it. I love where I am. It's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's really cool. But it doesn't, like, if I need a manager, I can call any manager. We have there was a manager in Pennsylvania during COVID that started a club called 6 a.m.ers. I call it a cult now because they're amazing. But he was just trying to get everybody to support everybody else. So he started in Philly, and then
time out for a second. Can we get her a napkin?
No, I don't need one. It's good. I'm good.
Excuse us for a second.
She's
over here. Tears are falling.
No, it's fine.
That's okay. That's all right.
But but he started 6 a.m.ers in Philly. Then it expanded it to the East Coast. Then expanded to West Coast. And now it's like every morning you get a question of the day that'll help you. It has nothing to do with real estate. It's just to better you, to better your life. Right. Tuesdays and Thursdays, they bring on, yes, at 6 a.m., they bring on amazing speakers just to help you. And if I want to call Sky, literally I can pick up the phone and call him. You can call any manager in the country. You can call, it's one big, amazing company, and everybody is at the same thing. It's to find everybody's place in the world. That's our mission.
So it's the culture of the company that makes it so pleasant and so available and makes it a great place, not only for the employees as yourself and for the clients that you service.
Exactly.
Which says a lot, because we live in this culture now where a lot of companies aren't really concerned about the client. They're concerned with the bottom line.
Exactly.
The bottom line's not right, they really don't care.
Yep.
You're just a number in the process. And I know I talked to one of your colleagues, Christopher Howard.
Oh, yes, I love Christopher.
You know, Christopher's in Brooklyn, so I'm going to be talking to him soon. And he's got another story for me to go over. And it's the same type of response that I get from him. As a matter of fact, he sends, somehow I'm in his email group. So I get all motivational. I get it from Christopher every week.
Yep.
You know, and it has nothing to do with real estate. It's all about, hey, what's going on? Have you ever considered if you decided to change your career in the middle of your career? You know,
what exactly?
Things of that nature. So I appreciate it. I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to that.
And then the other thing is too is that Compass is really a tech company. 100% tech company.
Really?
We have the most amazing platform. Notice it's not the first thing I talk about, but it makes my life amazing. It makes my life very easy. It makes my clients' lives very easy because it was built for realtors. It was built by realtors, by a tech company. So the basic platform pulled up what we needed, but then everything that we needed, they just added we have hundreds of tech people that add stuff that we need all the time. And they're constantly improving it, but improve it to make our clients' life better. I mean, so there's just that could be a day's conversation. So, but they are constantly working to make our lives easier, our clients' life better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, one of the features that Compass does for their clients. Why don't you break this down? If someone has a home that has some updating, not major updating, but some things need to be done, you know, maybe some cosmetic, maybe the bathroom is outdated. What do you guys do for your clients?
So I personally always bring a stager.
Okay.
But what Compass has is Compass Concierge. And Compass Concierge is if I bring the stager in and she says, you know, it would be very helpful if these rooms were color changes. And we understand that people live in their houses. This is not about that.
Right.
But if they have all new windows except for 2, they have hardwood floors that are gorgeous, solid floors, but just need to be redone. Painting, maybe a bathroom, maybe that stuff. Compass has a program where they'll lend you up to $25,000, interest free. There is now a $500
really.
There's a $500 application fee now, but it gets paid back by when the house sells. It gets paid back out of the proceeds. There's no interest in it. There's nothing. It's a credit card. Here you go.
So they can hire anybody they please.
Anyone they want.
What if they decide they're going to do the work themselves?
Then they buy the stuff at Home Depot when they go there.
Okay. Wow, that's such a great program.
It's
that
amazing.
Separates you from a lot of real estate companies.
It gives people the ability to, I mean, because generally speaking, you get paid back 5 times on the dollar when you do something. So if you've done 3/4 of your house, but you haven't gotten to the one bathroom, there's so much, it's usually, think about it, people do get so far in and then they leave that one thing where they have one room with orange paint, or they, or the
front entrance door looks like it's about to fall off. And the storm door, they just haven't gotten around to. Right. Or the garage door.
Or they don't go in that door because they always come in the mudroom door, so they don't even see it.
True.
It's amazing how many times I'll go through a house and I'll be like, and this, and they're like, oh, we didn't even notice that. Because you live there.
Right.
So, yeah, a concierge is an amazing program. I've used it with a bunch of clients, and most times the answer is, this couldn't have gotten easier. So it is a great program, and we have clients that are using it right now, and they probably got $100,000 higher than they would have been.
Okay, so the concierge service, that sounds so great, and for all of you out there who are looking for another alternative to help you get through the process of selling your home, and you don't have the funds, give Melissa a call. Yeah. Or call your nearest Compass realtor, because the concierge service is throughout the country.
Throughout the country, yep, exactly.
So they'll be able to provide the funds for you. I don't know of any other real estate company that's offering that to any prospective clients, but it's a great option for you to have and for you to look into.
Right. So
that's grand.
It is.
All right.
So,
and all you contractors out there, get on the list.
Well, exactly.
Get on the list.
And that's the thing, is that it can be the contractors that are, sometimes the contractors are called first to come in I need to prep my house to get ready. The people haven't even,
they have no clue.
They haven't even decided that who they're going to use for a realtor and things like that. So if the contractor knows about it, the contractor can say, look, if you don't want to take this out of your pocket, yes, you have to list your house with a Compass realtor. But I mean, not everyone is created equal, but I will tell you, most of the Compass real estate agents are fantastic. Compass loves their professionalism, things like that. And they also, if you don't treat people right, you don't get to stay at Compass.
Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So, but if somebody, if a contractor is like, look, this is going to cost this, and you're going to sell, why don't you talk to a Compass realtor and see what what they can offer for the concierge.
That makes a lot of sense because I've gone into homes where we've talked to homeowners. They're looking to sell.
Right.
They don't want to sell yet because they need to do X, Y, and Z.
Exactly.
And sometimes funds are challenging.
Right.
All right. There are incidents where people have homes that are part of estates
Mm-hmm.
where the state has to get approved before they can sell the property.
Right.
There's all kind of things that go on during the process of selling a house. This helps tremendously.
And especially the estates is one of the real things, because if the estate hasn't been approved yet or hasn't gone through yet, at least this can move forward, so they can get the house prepped. So when everything else is done, it will be ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes a lot of sense.
And if somebody's moving, they don't want to do anything to their credit. They don't want to spend more money than they need to because they need it where they're going. So they may have put an offer on something before they've sold this one. So it's always helpful to have some extra dollars in your pocket.
Without a doubt. Because they don't have to spend that money one way or another to get the house up to where it needs
exactly.
to be.
Exactly.
Okay. That's great. That's great.
So,
what's your exit strategy for the next, or what is your plans for the next 3 or 4 years? I like to ask that question.
My plans for the next 3 or 4 years. Let me change your question for a second, because we talked about the quote unquote crazy market.
Right.
Real estate is always changing.
Okay.
I don't know any realtor that got into it to be bored. So although the message out there is real estate's crazy, it's really just another cyclical cycle of real estate. It's just a matter of how to handle it, what you're doing with it, and how to help educate your client so they know what to do.
Okay.
So if you think about it, the rates are crazy. So are the prices, but the prices are still on an increase.
Correct.
You date the rate, you marry the price.
Okay, say that one more time.
You date the rate, you marry the price. So how long have you owned a home?
Oh, many years.
How many times do you think you've refinanced it?
Couple of times.
Couple times.
Right.
So, and there's the option to, when the rates come back down, and yes, they are higher than these 3% that everybody was looking at, but national average over 20 years, we're right in the middle of where they would be. It's just these artificial low rates that we had blew everybody out of the water. Okay. So we don't have to come back down all that far to make it feel better. So if somebody finds a house, if they need to move, if they're outgrowing their house, if there's another reason they need to move, there's a saying, it's like all the bees, the babies, bridals, like any life event that's going to make you move, then refinance it later.
Makes sense.
Yes, you have to afford the payment. Don't get me wrong. Do not go over. You don't want to be house poor. You don't want to be in a situation where it's going to put extra stress on you. However, don't put off the purchase because of the interest rates. Buy within your means, but get guided so you know where you are and where you could be.
Because I hear a lot of that right now. Very trending. As you know, my son, he's a mortgage broker.
Absolutely.
And he talks about clients who are foregoing purchasing because of the rate.
Yep.
And he explains to them all the time, price of homes are not coming down. So if you buy now, refinance later. Okay. Which makes a lot of sense. And I also noticed a lot of trend. A lot of realtors got into the market right before COVID, as COVID started. Easy. And I've noticed a lot of real estate agents have gotten out of the market because they're starving.
I can't really say I'm sorry to see them go.
I'm sure you don't.
So it's a profession. You should treat it like a profession. It's work. It comes in overalls. It's not easy. If you do the right thing, So,
So it's not the part-time gig that people
oh
think
my
it to be.
gosh,
Oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I just sell real estate on the side. Every realtor I know that's worth their weight in salt, it seems like they're working 24/7. They're always working
working. Yeah,
because there's no set time. There's no set parameter because
right.
you have to be available for your client.
Right. And I'm lucky enough that I set up my parameters with my clients ahead of time. I'm like, look, you don't want me negotiating after 8 o'clock for you. I will pick up the phone and start negotiating at 5 a.m.
Right.
But you do not want me negotiating at 8 o'clock at night. But most of the realtors are like, I don't want to talk to you at 5 a.m. So,
right.
But
we set boundaries.
We set boundaries. Right. Yeah. You set your own boundaries. However, you have to be responsive. You have to know what's going on in the market. You have to have your people to take care of you. Like Jason is available. Your son is available. You know, when you need a client, to call somebody to get that done, because it's never about just the buyer. It's about the buyer, their financing, what they're doing, what their terms are, and things like that. So the crazy market isn't crazy. It's just different than 2 years ago.
Right.
So, and it's constantly changing. So if somebody's worried about it changing, well, they got to think about why they got into it. You know, yes, there's flexibility, but yes, there is also work. So
if it was easy, everyone
would do it.
And people thought it was easy, so everybody got involved, and they just fell by the wayside. It's the same thing in my business, 100%. In the construction business.
Oh my God.
Oh, everybody's, just because you can swing a hammer doesn't mean you should be in someone's house swinging a hammer.
Shouldn't be in your own house swinging a hammer.
That's a whole nother segment.
Exactly. Anyway. All right. So my 5-year, not a 5-year exit plan, but my 5-year plan is I'm keeping doing what I'm doing, but I'm also getting, so because I love taking care of people, I'm also getting my International Federation coaching certificate.
You hear that, people? She's going to be coaching. You better stay tuned.
So I realize that it's not about the box for me. It's not about the structure of the house. I have team members that love architect, love that. And I like electrical panels and boilers, but, as far as how somebody decorates and things like that, that's their personal choice.
Right.
But for me, it's always been about taking care of the people. So this is a natural extension of what I do. So I want to get better at it.
That is so you. That is so you. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my thing. So I will have that. I'll actually have my certification in next July or next August.
That's great. That's fantastic.
So it's fun though.
Well, Melissa, it has been a pleasure for you to come down and have a chat with me today.
Thank you.
Talk about what you do, what's happening in the real estate market, which is very important for any homeowner. People are frustrated out there. They can't find a house. Rates are too high. Price is too high.
Inventory is too low.
It's a tough time for buyers.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I understand it. And it's great for you to be able to educate the public of these different areas that it's not all doom and gloom.
No, it is
like
not.
People would want you to think.
Yeah, it is not doom and gloom. It isn't. It is work. It's work on the buyer side. It's things like that. But it's also a matter of perspective.
Right.
If a buyer needs to move in 3 months, well, they should have started 6 months ago.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's a matter, again, it all goes back to education and expectations.
Right.
So, and that's what we try and do. If somebody just has a question, I'm like, just ask, whatever. I'll help you. It doesn't matter where you are.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
That's great.
So, thank you
so
so
much. So we're going to look into that camera right there. And you know what? Thank you, Melissa, for coming out and sharing with us, giving us such positive information and telling us your story, because your story is important because it has history attached to it. Okay?
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me. This has been very fun.
Okay. That's what we like to do, is have fun. Work and have fun.
That's it. Exactly.
All right. See you guys later. You mind being in just come over for a second?
Yeah.
Just come on over.
That's so funny.
That's one. I want you.
There are no coincidences.
I just texted my boyfriend. I'm like, God works here.
Oh, yes, he does.
You come right here, Helen. Come right here, Helen. Okay.
This is unreal.
Makai, are you about ready? He's
Funny.
always filming. Center ready? Okay. So, as we were leaving, this young lady, Helen, right?
Yes, Helen.
Helen came into the coffee shop to purchase some coffee. And I kind of like, out of my peripheral vision, I saw her kind of like listening very intently. And matter of fact, I think she nodded or something. Yeah. So, and she had something very interesting. Share with us, Helen, what you just said to us.
I'm actually on my way to close a house right now. My closing is literally like at that building right there.
Oh,
Wow.
So randomly, I just came here, and then I was having like buyers, I guess,
anxiousness.
nerves.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get this house anymore. I'm not interested. And I came in here, and ironically enough, you guys were talking about the real estate market and how important it is to buy, and the little cues and things to remember. So that made me feel really good.
And are you an athlete? Did you ever play a sport?
I did the basketball.
Okay, so before a game, how'd you feel?
I was shaking in my boots. Yeah, I was very nervous, extremely nervous. Butterflies.
So those are the same nerves. You're making a big change. You're doing something that's important to you. So those nerves are this. This is a big. So it's that. So, but think about how you channeled it. So you're making another big change.
No, for sure. And I think when I told my parents for the first time, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a house in Brooklyn." Mom's like, "New York City, Brooklyn." Like, do people buy homes there? Are there homes there?
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Boston, but I'm living in DC now. But she just couldn't believe it, and I was like, "No, it's like a new build, it's like a brand new construction, everything." And she's like, "No way." I'm like, "I'm serious. It exists."
Oh my God, that is so fun.
It's just all the whole process is nerve wracking, but it's so funny.
So you grew up in Boston?
Grew up in Boston.
And you lived in DC. You live in DC now.
I own a business in DC now.
Okay, and now you're coming to Brooklyn.
Yes.
Are you moving your business to Brooklyn too?
No, we're opening a new location, but we're just scaling.
What do you do?
Okay.
Consulting, compliance, training.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Little things, but was nervous. I feel so much better. I was just saying, God works.
You hear that? You hear that, audience? This is not scripted. We didn't give her $50 to say this. She just happened to walk into the coffee shop. Shout out to Amsterdam Coffee Shop, by the way.
311.
You got to come out and give them some love.
Yep.
But Helen came in, and that's so inspiring.
I've never even been to Long Island. Like,
isn't that crazy?
So
fun.
That's my first time here.
That's fun.
No way.
Oh yeah.
I'm serious. God works in mysterious
Oh
ways.
yes, He does.
Yeah, there are no
Yeah,
coincidences.
no
We just choose to ignore them a lot.
No coincidences.
Oh, that's great.
Well, thank you.
And what was your name?
Christopher.
Christopher. Nice to meet you.
And Melissa.
Nice to meet
Helen,
you.
so nice to meet you.
Okay.
And I will give you we have a friend, Christopher,
Yes.
who is an agent in Brooklyn.
Yes.
I'm going to give you his number just because he has lived in Brooklyn all his life. So if you
Please.
need anything,
Send him
plumber,
my way. Oh, we'll need him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a general contractor. That's
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Exactly.
We need it all. We need it all.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, thank
All
you.
right.
I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad you're. Yeah, that's.
Just got my cashier's check. I'm like, man.
Don't lose
No,
that
no,
baby.
Listen, jump in, feet first, and just
Oh,
start
enjoy
stroking.
it. Enjoy
Okay.
it.
I'm excited.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yay.
Good.
All right. Thank you. So fun.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. So funny.
That's so ironic.
Oh my God. So where did you grow up in Boston?
Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Oh, in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a city kid. Yeah.
My son just moved out of Alston, and he's in San Diego now.
Expensive.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Which is why we're so scared to buy.
Exactly. And we have a cabin on Winnipesaukee. So,
oh no way.
Yeah.
Good for
So,
you. Good
yeah.
for you. We bought in Cambridge originally, then I bought in DC. So New York is my last stop.
Okay.
I hate it here, but
You'll love it.
Yeah, you can't hate it.
Well, you
I
can.
love it, but I hate it.
Right. Well, but you're a city kid, so you'll love it.
Yeah.
You'll adjust.
Yeah.
Adjust. That is a good word.
You have to adjust.
Well,
Life is full of adjustments and plateaus.
It's nice over here though.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, driving around like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is where people should live.
Long
This kind of
Island.
reminds me of Boston, actually.
A little bit outside. This is like more like Andover, all like exactly
That's
outside.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. Well,
maybe
thank you.
Lawrence. Maybe So.
The guys are calling me now.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. I'm gonna give you.
Okay,
Here's my
Makai.
card.
Yes.
You can cut.
I
you can
will
cut.
connect you.